Hey you, good evening and morning all you paper chasers. I've been waiting on 3.9 so I could crank out a new trading video, but that's so up in the air right now, so I'm gonna go ahead and put this on out there. Let's make this one quick before 3.9 comes knocking in the middle of the video. We're gonna go ahead and get them illegal things out the way first. Head over to Damar, orbital marker 3. Once you're there, spool up and look for Dunlow. Right in the middle of Dunlow and the Damar marker is Nuen Waste Management. It's just outside the edge of a brick-shaped landmass. As you move in, you'll see what look like roads coming off the brick, and the drug lab is just above where two roads diverge, Robert Frost. You're going to be dealing with a refresh rate on both ends, meaning you can only buy and sell so much at a time, but it's light years faster than trying to sell slam at Cruel 5. To speed things up, you're going to want to buy both Neon and ATAM. Their profit margin is close enough that it only makes sense to get both rather than buying a limited amount of one, then waiting for the supply to refresh. So cop Neon for 71 credits and ATAM for 86, then go and get out of there. Head over to Hurston. Shout out to Star Citizen Tips for this info. Head over to orbital marker 4. When you arrive, spool up and jump to Hurston. At Hurston, plot a course for Tompkins. Jump to Tompkins and keep it in view while you're jumping. When you're 1,600 kilometers away, hit U to kill power and cancel the jump. You'll end up around 1,400 kilometers from Tompkins. With the body of water on the right, you'll see a snake-shaped landmass. Behind the snake's left jaw is a mountain range with a couple of gaps on the edge. Reclamation Orinth is on the right side of the left gap. Cruise on down and start selling off your product. Neon sells for 90, giving you a profit of 19 credits per unit. ATAM sells for 111, a unit profit of 25. Again, there's a refresh timer for demand to hike back up, but it's almost literally 10 times faster than selling slam. Depending on how much of each drug you bought, a full Freelancer requires an investment of between 470 and 570,000, and will net you between 125 and 165,000 in profit. And if you roll in with the big cat and have between 4 and 5 million credits to splurge, you're looking at a return of between 1 and 1.4 million credits, man. I'm gonna start calling you Jeff Bezos. You could get slightly better buy prices at Paradise Cove or the Orphanage, but I wasn't able to get the terminals there to detect my ship, so I couldn't buy anything. You could have a totally different experience there, so don't take mine as gospel. On to the legal trucking. One man's trash is another's treasure. The first leg of this loop is in Lorville Central Business District. Buy up all the scrap you can get for 1.35 per unit, then head out to Port Olisar. At PO, keep the engine running while you head in and offload that for an easy half credit profit per unit. If you're rocking the Freelancer, you should see a profit of around 3,300, and if you're in a cat, you just made yourself about 29,000 easy. Leg 2, head over to Selling. Tram and Myers. If there happens to be Lira Knight available, go ahead and grab it for $27.33 per unit, but there's a chance there won't be any. But diamonds are forever, so go ahead and fill your ship up to the brim with them for $5.85. There's a huge supply here, so no worrying about having to wait through several transactions to fill your ship's hold. I've been there when another cat filled up, and then I took my cat in and filled up, so no need to fight over scraps, y'all. Leg 3. Head back to Lorville and the Central Business District. If you want to get there a little quicker, go ahead and pop the cyanide hiding in your false tooth to respawn in your hab. Catch the train over to the Central Business District. Cash out on Lira Knight for a profit of $368. Move all them diamonds for $1.50 per unit. I didn't have the funds to fill up my cat, but let's check out what full ships will rake in with just diamonds. A Freelancer full of diamonds will have made $9,900 and $13,200 for the entire loop. And a Caterpillar will have made $84,600 on the diamonds and $113,400 credits for the whole loop. The whole loop took a grand total of 52 minutes, so those are your hourly rate on those ships. Now, what I didn't mention about this route is a minor detail that may affect your decision of whether or not to go ahead and run it. It's also one of the reasons I held back on making a video about it, but the cat's out of the bag and I'll leave it up to you to decide. Griefers have become well aware of it. And I call them griefers because there's nothing to be gained from blown up traders until next patch when real pirates can steal your cargo. But anyway, griefers have become aware of this run, so Tram and Myers has become danger zone. Man, you better be on your P's and Q's out there. You'll find them sitting in the air or landing nearby, and you'll know what they're there for when you scan them, because they're either in a ship that can't carry cargo, or when you scan them, they'll have zero cargo, even though they've been sitting there for a while. So this is where you got to be a little bit grateful for these jerks. This is an opportunity to stimulate the player economy. The fact that they're there is a good reason to hire an escort, hire some turret gunners, or I suppose you could bribe them. I mean, I wouldn't do it, but you could. My buddy Commander Exigence is an elite dangerous content creator, and when I interviewed him, I asked him about his self-proclaimed title of Gentleman Pirate. He explained that he pirated for the fun and experience of it rather than setting out to ruin other folks' experience. He would interdict ships and ask for a negligible amount of their cargo and send them on their merry way. He wouldn't blow up anybody unless they were douchebaggins about it, or sometimes if they wouldn't respond at all, he would go ahead and do it. I think. I'm not so sure about that last part. I'd have to go watch the interview again. You should too, because he does the pirating thing right. It's called Starcast Exigence, link in the upper right. But yeah, there's some emerging gameplay that develops around this behavior, and villains inspire heroes to come out. A week or so ago, an org declared Tram and Myers under their control. Anybody was welcome to come trade, provided they announced themselves and which ship they were arriving in, and they provided safe passage for citizens and put the wreck on anybody that came to start some static. I saw that happen when I first started playing and Jumptown was popping. An org called the Scarlet Order had ships patrolling the sky, more ships landed near the drug lab, and they had guards at the door checking folks for weapons and letting them in one at a time. I'm sure that's not everybody's cup of tea, but I really dig how a resource attracted traders, then bullies, then heroes, and how different folks are endowed with the agency to do these things outside of the established gameplay loops. I can't wait to see what else happens as new abilities, locations, and tech materializes out of the roadmap pipeline. It's a good time to be a citizen. So go out there, hire an escort, turret gunner, or come holler at the commission. Captain Rico's our combat division head, and he's always looking to up his game. Big XXL special shout out to the three wise men, aka executive producer extraordinaires of this joint. Ike the Subliminal Shonuff. What you gonna do about that flea carrier, man? Odin, aka Red Jello number 5. And Gino Garin, aka Corvette Commander. Shout out to all the fam supporting the Dig That and Space Sim Marts. Salute to Commander Blackout, to Diedrichs, to the Mother, Bussa Boy, Anthony Jackson, Guillotine Girl, SM, Generalissimo. I'm getting a little too high pitched here. Generalissimo, Commander Dr. Digital, Space Pirate Mick Morgan, Zayla Maru, Krista K, Commander Leviathan Soul, Timeout 420, Train Man Rob, and Epion Next. Much appreciated, Fambinos. Shout out to everybody subbed up like a boss. My name is Dig and I'm out this piece. Fly dirty.